welcome to BitBoy Crypto. The best way is... If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know? I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to... My name is Ben.
I missed the toga.
Guys, what do you guys think? You guys think that their intro should go from provocative and then sexy before? Guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. No channel works harder. Keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. I am here with the guys from Sin City Crypto, David and Robin. What is going on, guys?
What's that?
Hola! 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 Welcome to Sin City Crypto. We got two of the best over here to ever do it. What's up?
That's exactly like Robin.
Is that supposed to be my voice?
Hey, guys, I can make it happen. I can get into it. Guys, I got a big announcement. I'm leaving BitBoy Crypto, and I'm now coming to Sin City Crypto to work here permanently.
What's that?
Yeah, we had a great run there back at home.
TJ, we're sorry.
Hey, BitBoy Crypto people on the other side, please don't cut the stream off. Appreciate you guys. No. We've had a good time out here. Some kind of party we went to a Ripple party last night.
Yeah, how was it, guys?
It was at the club, but it actually wasn't at the club. Whoa! Guys, went to the Ripple party last night. Nobody that you guys would know was there from the Ripple
I was
team.
there. Oh, never.
It was basically all the people working at Ripple Labs, or a lot of people that work there. You guys probably only know two people that work there. You guys probably know David Schwartz, you know Brad Garlinghouse. Neither one of them were there. Really disappointed for them because they could have had a good time at the party. But last night made some connections with the Ripple team, so we're going to be having more direct contact here at BitBoy Crypto directly to the Ripple Labs team, and especially their PR team and their basically, hopefully we're gonna be able to get interviews from people on Ripple Labs. So it was a big moment last night going to that Ripple party and making those connections. These are things I've wanted for a long time. And so if you're in the XRP army, throw the X up if you're in the XRP army. And you guys can look forward to more insight from the Ripple team. I tell you what they're really excited about right now is the big upgrade going on in the XRPL. XL20, I believe it's called. But they're really excited about that. And so relaying that information to you guys. It's going to change kind of some stuff, the way that it works on the XRPL. The place that I look now at myself is up on the wall. So if you guys see this,
You can use the production button.
I'm looking at me.
There you go.
What's up? What's up? So anyway, so that was big yesterday. We've been here at Money 2020. We did some recording. We actually have a video coming out for you guys probably tomorrow on some of the stuff we did. We did a very in-depth investigative report on Circle, correct, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
And Ripple also thought you were a spy.
Yeah, Ripple didn't think I was a spy. They spent most of the party last night apologizing to me because when I went up there earlier, I guess they didn't know who I was, or somebody told them. And Ripple, everything's fine. I wasn't offended. I'm not offended. I understand there's a separation between, and this is what we want to get rid of. If you're in the XRP community, like this should excite you. You know as well as I do, there is a wall between Ripple Labs, the company, and the XRP Army community. There is a wall between what they do from a tech perspective and what the community and the price speculation and the news stories and the crypto side of things do. So what we want to do is we want to tear down that wall. You know, who's the guy that said
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Mr. Trump, tear down that wall. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to tear down the wall. We're going to be able to unite the company and the community. So it's going to be really exciting. So you guys look for some more stuff on that.
It was interesting. You know, I brought up XRP to a couple of people. They literally looked at me like I was speaking a different language. I'm like, that is your token.
Yeah.
Ripple? Like, yeah. I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, that thing. I'm like, okay, yeah. That.
It's wild for sure.
Yeah, and the demographics is way different too.
Oh,
They're like buttoned up suits, jackets, dress shirts, slacks. And
well, I think I was the only person at the conference yesterday that was wearing a T-shirt.
It was a a nice T-shirt though. It was good.
It's a Gucci shirt.
It's all Gucci. No, how about my T-shirt? Did you see? And we got two Davids here.
Two Davids. What is that? Listen, sir, can I see some ID on that?
So if you're David's TA sounds like it's like, we got a forming candle here, and then we got a
There he is, Teacher David. Teacher David. Teacher David.
What is wrong with this guy?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Guys, Bitcoin pumped out of control yesterday. Hey, $21,000. Can't believe it. Hold on. 21,000 is a really big number. Guys, I'm not convinced that we're moving up. The volume was big yesterday. We got news on that volume. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. You want to go over market watch, David?
Yeah. All right, let's do it. So we have Bitcoin, or 520 exchanges. Market cap is finally over 1 trillion.
Ooh, can we get a round of applause, Rocco?
But
$1 trillion market cap.
But look at that volume. What did we see yesterday? 45 billion?
Holy crap.
$7 billion in volume. Bitcoin dominance still a smidge under 40%.
That's amazing. Look what pumped though. The Ethereum dominance. It was at 17 yesterday.
Yeah. And ETH 21% over the last 7 days, up to 1578. Bitcoin about to cross 21K, up 6.4% over the last 24 hours. And then you have XRP coming in at 46 cents. Wow. Not really a big move for XRP. I'm sure a lot of people were disappointed. And then Cardano pumped as well.
It was up
10%.
It was up 15% at one point yesterday.
Yeah. As far as the biggest gainers, you have Ton Coin, which I believe is Telegram's coin.
Yeah.
We're actually doing a review on Ton here very soon on the channel. Okay. So
that's up almost 24%. And then you have Convex Finance up 14.5%. ETH up 13.25%. And some of the biggest losers besides Robin, you have X-Chain down 5%. Aptos. There was a lot of hype around Aptos. I haven't done any in-depth research. I don't know if you have.
I still say keep an eye out on it.
Yeah.
I think it is worth looking at. Once again, I want to be very clear. I was not involved in private investing in this like a lot of other influencers were. I have zero Aptos. I don't plan on getting any anytime soon. So this is completely unbiased by me. Watch this project. I think it is going to bounce back and it's going to do very well. I don't know if it's at the bottom right now, but just because it had a bad launch, hey, a lot of people are saying FTX is what dumped that. FTX was the #1 investor in Aptos, from what I understand, and big surprise, they dump every. Let me tell you, by the time I'm done with FTX, it's going to be closed down. You guys get ready for it. And if you think I'm kidding about that, I am not. I have so much information about literal conspiracy, wrongdoing, telling people to delete evidence, so much evidence of them using their exchange to short projects to death with internal inside information. I'm telling you, by the time I'm done with FTX, they're going to get shut down. You might as well go close your account now.
All right. Yeah, actually, I'm in the process of withdrawing my FTX.
I'm not kidding, guys. I'm not kidding. It is bad what's going on over there.
You know, speaking of FTX and liquidations, Ben, check this out. So I'm going to show the liquidation. So we went over this, well, not on your show, but on our show. But look at the last 24 hours. $1.5 billion in cryptocurrency has been liquidated. If we swap this over to the last 24 hours as well, you can see Bitcoin leading the charge, coming in at $750 million. But guess what, guys? Guess who the #1 liquidator was? FTX. Out of the $1.5 billion, FTX had $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, let me tell you, this is like if you did something really illegal with crypto, and you did something horrible, and now somebody's found your address. It's just a matter of time for FTX. At this point, they're exposed. SBF may go to prison. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. By the time everything comes out that they've been doing, look, Uncle Brian may be the only one standing. He may be the only one left standing here in the United States when it comes to this stuff.
Damn.
Unky
Brian.
Brian.
Wait, is he really your uncle?
Kidding. Look at that guy's head. That's what I told somebody last night at the Ripple party. They said, "Oh, is that really your uncle?" No, look at the man's head and then look at my head. God, no. I do not go bald. This is all natural.
He might shave it, willingly.
Just so he doesn't look like me. That son of a... Okay. And can we go back to the coin market cap for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like how I called it the coin market cap? That sounds so boomerish. If you could go back up to the top, and I want you to click on that volume number all the way to the top. Click on the volume number there. Let's go look at the volume chart. That's right. This is the total crypto market cap. I want you to zoom in on 2022.
On the market cap?
Yeah, just slide the bar down there. Slide the bar. No, left to the left, to the left, left, all the way left. Drag all the way in. You got to click it before you drag it. Okay. You got to click it.
There's a little.
Oh,
a handle
you can't see
on
it.
the left.
You can't see it. Yeah, it's further left. Further left.
Yeah, you got to scroll it up because you got this clicker.
Oh, you got that clicker.
Daily news recap.
Oh, I see it.
There we go.
I am technologically challenged. My apologies. Where are you going to go to 2020?
Go to 2021. Actually, go halfway through 2021 to that dip. Yeah, right. Compare the volume we just had. What in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a big spike. You're going to have to go back and open it a little wider, I guess. Yeah, open it a little bit wider.
So the epic fail here on this one.
Go past that. Oh, this is a big fail here, guys. This is a big failure.
This is 100% my bad.
Yeah, this is horrible what you've done here.
Yeah,
it might be because he's on a. You like?
He's on a PC. I don't use PCs, guys. I use Macs only.
I'm distressed. I lost my laptop.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and hit refresh, guys. You guys, this is live TV here, guys. So this is what you deal with. Hit live. Let's see. Okay, now go to 2018 and then shut it down. Yeah, right there. Just hit it right there. Let's see if we get the. Okay. So basically, hover over the last volume candle, the very last candle over there. Okay, so go. Yep. So it's not even showing the spike yet that we just had. I want you to go back until you see one that's triple digits. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That was 102. So keep going back, keep going back. That was 102. Whoa, there was a day. What was the day? You saw it? More or less. That
151.
That was June 13th. You know what June 13th was?
Terra Luna Day.
That was Terra Luna Day. Yeah, or Terra Luna Day. So keep going back. I'm trying to see other day. Like, you guys need to understand how abnormal this spike was we had.
There you go, 119.
119 on May 13th.
3 Arrows Day. 3 Arrows Capital. Look at this, 218. That was 3 Arrows Capital.
Okay, there you go. I mean, man, this volume we've had, but here's the difference. You know what's interesting? We can go back and we can look at all of these different dates, and we can know what it was that caused that spike on that day, right? It was Celsius, or it was 3 Arrows Capital, or it was Terra Luna, or it was the unpegging USD, whatever it was. We can look back, we understand why that volume was where it was.
Right.
What was yesterday?
Well, here's the thing. Typically, you see the stuff on Fridays where options expire and a quarter and a week and a month, but
you can see the liquidation points on exchanges.
It was a Tuesday.
And not only can we see it, but also people that run the exchanges see it.
Yeah.
And, might be advantageous for somebody to kick a ball down the hill that knows going to get bigger and bigger as it rolls down the hill. So,
well, when you look at what happened yesterday, it's very fascinating because when we were on the show, we had the price had just spiked up to above $20,000. I think by the time we finished with the show, it went back down to like 19. Mm-hmm. It basically BARTed. You guys know what a BART pattern is? And then BART's head, goes up, goes over, then goes down. You also have an inverse BART where it goes over, down, over, up. That's an inverse BART. And so when you look at that, and you look at the 80% of these liquidations that were done on the FTX exchange, it seems like to me that most likely FTX was busy doing something behind this. 80% of that volume, or of those liquidations, came from one place. 80%. This is a worldwide market, guys. Worldwide market where, what's the number one exchange by a long shot?
Binance.
Where's Binance on that list?
They were number 4 or 3 or 4.
Oh, FTX.
Let's take a gander. Binance was number 3.
I mean, and it had only 5%. That's insane.
They only had 75 million of the 1.5 billion.
Something's going on.
Yeah,
something's stinking to high heaven.
So that was 5% of liquidations. FTX was 81%.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
man. I sure would love to see a lot of in federal prison. Would you have to get a haircut to go into prison?
A lot of Ethereum got liquidated as well.
And look, no offense to my bad haircut people. If you've got a bad haircut, I want you to know you're accepted here. I love you. We're friends. But there's a couple haircuts that are just worse than the rest. So your Janet Yellen's, your SBF's, your cul-de-sac head Brad Sherman, your cul-de-sac head Gary Gensler. Like, these people, they're not friends of the channel. And I'm not saying that
who
the only commonality is the bad haircut.
You know who else also wore that? What was the guy from Stranger Things? The chubby
Dustin.
Kid? Yeah.
Now Dustin's cool. I like his hair.
Dustin's cool, man.
He's got similar hairdo, right?
Is SBF Dustin when he grows up?
It might be. He kind of has. Can you pull up a picture of Dustin?
Yeah, because when you think about it, he's big. And I guarantee you, SBF has played Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons, whatever they choose to play.
Yeah, that is. Just tip.
You don't know how to. Yeah, you have to learn how to type, David.
And I was really smart in high school. I don't know what happened.
So was Dustin in middle school and high school, I guess.
That one's dead.
Yeah,
Well, we had a good run here, guys. This show.
We had a good run. Wait, what a way to send him off, huh?
Yeah, what a way. Yeah, so guys, there's something really wrong with what's going on at FTX, and I think people are starting to see it. It's one of these things where it's been right under our noses the entire time. It's been right under our noses the entire time, and we've just chosen to ignore it. But now, and you want to know why? Because so many people were in the middle on SBF. You're like, is he good? Is he bad? I couldn't figure it out. Now that I know which side that he's on for 100% and it's not even close, now you start looking back at all this stuff that's happened at FTX and you start understanding the manipulated moves. Now, have you guys heard about the guy that basically was forced out of FTX that's been talking a lot about the internal stuff going on there?
No.
Yeah, so I want to get that guy on the channel. He used to work there, and basically he was forced silent by SBF, and I think now he's starting to talk. So would love to get his opinion. Maybe people know who I'm talking about. Somebody sent me some stuff on Twitter last night about him. But yeah, we got a young SBF here on the screen.
There you go.
There he is, young SBF.
We're live.
You know, I mean, Dustin, I like your hair. It's cool. I like it. I don't like. Imagine
Look at
SBF
this.
with the mullet. Yeah,
Look
there
at
it
this,
is. There's
bro.
SBF at prom. Guys.
This is
there he
gold.
is. Man, does he look like a llama or what?
Who did he take to prom? Jenny Yellen?
Yeah. Oh man, you know who did he? What's going on with SBF with the llama? Be careful, he might spit on you before he liquidates you.
Oh, God.
I'd say
Okay.
if he was missing front teeth, that's
I mean, everybody loves this guy. Everybody loves Dustin. He's one of the best characters on the
He
show.
is, 100%.
Yeah, but one of the things that's interesting about the show is they've done this like time jump and like, or they haven't done a time jump, but he's so much older now than when he started, and he's still supposed to be like 14 or something like that. But yeah, they're having problems there with the time jump with Stranger Things. All right, let's move on. We have some stories, or what do we want to talk about today?
Yeah, let's do some stories.
Okay.
So the first story, and we kind of went over this already, but Bitcoin liquidates over $1 billion as the price hits 6-week highs. And of course, the highlights don't show up, so I'm going to refresh the page.
There it is. He
Bitcoin-
has used a computer before.
I
ladies and
have,
gentlemen.
yes, believe it or not. Bitcoin alone accounted for $550 million in liquidations in the past 24 hours. $704 million in cross-crypto shorts were liquidated on October 25th, with the October 26th tally so far standing at $275 million. If you include long positions, the total was over $1 billion. Look at this right here. Total liquidations. Obviously, majority of them were shorts. We saw Bitcoin price get close to 21K, dip back down. But why? What were these liquidations? I mean, can you think of anything, Ben, or just?
Yeah, FTX. I mean, that's what this bull is. If you want to find the truth of what happened yesterday, you go start really looking at that FTX order book. I haven't done it. I'm not a chain analysis or order book peruser, if you will. But I'm sure there's people chat. Can I get the chat pulled up on my screen over here so I can see the chat? Production. Okay, got to go back. Production. Top middle. There it is. There. Hey, there's my people.
Damn.
There's my people. There they are. And guys, make sure to do us a favor if you like how we have been doing the show while I've been gone. You guys have been getting me. I know you hate DZ. Look, I don't dislike him. But no, DZ does a great job with his studio. We love DZ. But you know, I've got a lot of traveling. I'm going to London in a couple weeks. Obviously, I was in Dubai. I was in Colorado. This week, I'm in Las Vegas. So I want to make sure I'm coming to you guys with the show, even though I'm out of town. If you like that, make sure to smash that like button. Number one thing you can do, not just for the channel, but for crypto adoption. For crypto adoption, like this video. You see my guy Robin over here has, he did repair
The janky sign.
He felt so bad and so abused by my comments on his thumbs up sign that he actually super glued it on there.
You know,
You
actually
inspired
the
him, Ben.
power of the thumbs of the like, it repairs it. It's like it's like a health bar.
Yeah, it's a health
So-
bar. It's good.
So the more people
We're
that
still
hit
working on the blood pressure meter for my channel. For my
Oh
head.
God, no.
People are gonna love that.
That would have been funny if you had it on that day.
JPEG Jordan, hey guys, could you dive into Cypherium for us? There is, go scroll up just a little bit. Just a little bit. on the chat. Yeah, right there. There's very little info available online yet. It claims to have connections with FedNow, Amazon, Google, and IBM. Nobody seems to talk about this project that we covered a couple years ago on the channel, and it seemed like they just disappeared for a long period of time. So we didn't know what was going on with them, and we kind of like stopped paying attention to it because there was like a 1.5 year period where there was nothing coming out from that project. So, you know, they had big connections, and that was one of the reasons why we had done that video with them. They have people there that I think worked at Google. They had some people worked at some other really major companies. Maybe it was Amazon. Can't remember exactly now. It's been many years since we did that video. But, you know, it showed up, I think, in our FedNow video that we did. If not, that was part of the research that we did for it. But, you know, just wanted to pay attention to and kind of look and see. But look, guys, projects are going to claim to have connections with everybody, right? Justin Sun claimed to have a connection with, God, what was that? He claimed to have a connection with, I think it was Manchester United, maybe? And the connection was he received an invite in the mail that they sent out to everyone in England about some event they were having. And he said, oh, we're a partner with them. Do you guys remember that? Anybody back in the day remember that? I'm sure you do. Justin Sun is a person that is amazing. It's amazing that people today in crypto don't even know who he is. This was the biggest guy in crypto for like 2 years. Made huge news all the time. He made his own huge news by saying he was partners with somebody he got a mail-in flyer for. So you just got to be careful with this stuff. We'll see how it moves. It's something that's now on my radar. A lot of people are looking at. So thoughts on Algo sponsoring the World Cup? Cool. I like it. Hey, you know what else is cool? United States in the World Cup. Finally. Cool. Finally. We're going to take it down. U.S. This is going to be it. We are going to win.
You think so?
Yeah, we're going to win the World Cup in Qatar. We love Qatar.
Qatar.
Yeah, we're going to win the World Cup for sure. Why? Because we're America. We do everything great.
That's right.
And I declare it so.
You know, only South American and European nations have ever won the World Cup.
Really? Wait, no. Oh, you said South American.
South American
Yeah,
and
right.
European nations. And
Well, that's
so
2 out
no
of the 5.
North America, no Asia.
Wow.
No
No
Africa.
Antarctica. No Antarctica.
Didn't we have an African country get pretty far recently? I can't remember who
I
it
think
was.
Ghana
Yeah.
or
Ghana's the one that comes to
Ivory
mind.
Coast.
Yeah.
I think it was Ivory Coast.
I don't think it was. I think it was Sierra Leone. I think it was Somalia.
I think it's
I'm
obvious.
just naming African countries. It was South Africa, I think, actually.
I think it's obvious none of us are big soccer.
Now, when I was in Dubai, and I would say soccer, I didn't understand like how they don't know what that is. When you say soccer in Dubai, like half the people are like,
What?
"What? Soccer? What?
It's football.
Football? Oh, football. Yeah, I get it. Soccer. Like I didn't understand. Do people not know we call it soccer? And dang right we call it soccer because we got real football over here. We call it American football.
They're probably like this guy.
Which guy?
They're probably like this guy.
Yeah.
What was
this
he
This guy with the
All right, let's move on.
yeah.
Reasons behind the Bitcoin rally. Is it sustainable? So if we scroll down here, what is apparent is that the stock market also rose yesterday as Microsoft and Google, among others, announced their earnings. But a better explanation might be the dollar index, the DXY. And I'll show a chart here in a second. When the DXY began to lose its ground between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bitcoin's price surged shortly after. Now, if we take a look
Wait, hold on. Go back up. Go back. Get Dustin off the screen. Go back to the page. Go back to the highlighted area. The second highlighted area. The next one. Read that again.
when the DXY began to lose its ground.
No, that's not correct. You read it wrong. Read it correctly.
When the Dixie began to lose its ground.
Yes, it loosed its ground. What?
Who writes these, man?
What website is this where your author doesn't know the difference between loose and loose?
News BTC.
News BTC.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's what keeps you from working at the crypt. That's what keeps you from working at the block. That's what keeps you from working at CoinDesk or Cointeleline. You got to learn. Look, if you're an author, you need to know the difference between loose and loose. I'm just sorry. If you're a normal person and you're writing it for whatever reason, if you're in the chat and you mess it up, most people mess it up for whatever reason. You can't be an author at a crypto news site and not know the difference between loose and loose. You can't. I'm sorry.
This is another reason why we're early.
That's right.
All right, I wanna share the Dixie chart here. So we've been kind of trading along this trend line, bumping up into it.
Yeah.
But we did cross
Is this the
above.
daily?
This is the daily on the
Okay.
Dixie. We did get rejected twice here, And looks like we're making lower lows from October 4th. The next level to watch is $108 level, but the good news is we shouldn't go above this trend line again. But if we touch the trend line, that puts us at $114, $115. Obviously, the implications of a strong dollar, you might think it's good, but it's actually not good, especially for the global economy. And, risk on assets typically move opposite of what the Dixie does. So Dixie goes up, risk on assets go down, and the opposite as well. So, so what are your thoughts? Have we topped out on the Dixie, Ben? Are we?
It's questionable. I think. Look, guys, a lot of people know. We have said bottom should be in very close to November, maybe beginning of December. So I am not convinced that this is the last move that we're going to see. I don't necessarily believe that this is. DXY's going down, Bitcoin's going up. I love it. I don't think that that's necessarily happening. However, if you notice, what we've been saying is we have been on bottom watch for a while now. Now, we haven't hit a new bottom. We dipped into the 17s again, which some people could call a double bottom. But we've also been telling you, look, guys, this is an unpredictable market. It's predictable in a sense. We've been able to predict it before based off of the 4-year cycle. But we can't guarantee it's going to continue. We think it's going to continue. I think we're going to get a lower low. I still believe it. A lot of people are now starting to say that they think the bottom was in, and back in June or was it June or July? I believe it was June when we had the largest drop when we hit the 17s.
Yep.
So the bottom could be in. We could be going in this direction. I hate to tell you, we could go up, we could go down. My heart tells me we still have another bottom to go, and people are getting really set up right now for a large capitulation that is going to happen. But we're looking at some longer term trends that are seeming to reverse a little bit if the DXY has truly broken below, that range that it's been in. And if you're looking at Bitcoin with the daily close has now gone above its trend line and is bouncing off of it, then those things do seem to indicate we could be heading up. But I just tell you guys, I would be very hesitant right now. And we've also told you this. We've also told you, regardless of whether it goes down from here, you better bet your bottom dollar the smart people are dollar cost averaging in. Because we can't guarantee it's the bottom by any stretch of imagination. It may not be the best price you're ever going to get. But man, these are going to be looked back at as some good prices. So I'll tell you how we've been treating our portfolios that we've been running on the channel. We have not been reallocating a lot of USDC. Probably this Friday, we're going to allocate some of that, as it looks like there are some trends going up, but we're still going to hold some back because I do still believe we're going to get a lower low. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, just to expand on kind of the DXY dominance for those of us in crypto land. Just imagine if you had a business that was 100% reliant on thousands of transactions in the NFT space, all done on the Ethereum network. For as an example, let's just say you just constantly minting. Your entire business model, your corporation is reliant on running with Ethereum. And if the price of Ethereum is significantly higher this month than it was last month, you know that your overhead or the cost of running business is going to be substantially more expensive because of the price of ETH. The same can be applied when it comes to the world economics, because most trade is done, or over 90% of trade around the world is done in the dollar. So if the dollar becomes more expensive, the cost of doing trade in dollar becomes higher price when it comes to your,
and it hurts GDP too.
Yep.
I think, me personally, I think the bottom's in. I hope I'm wrong, but I think
you think the bottom's in, and you hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong. Yeah.
Why you hope you're wrong?
So I can pick up more Bitcoin.
Oh, no. You actually value buying crypto more than your credibility on your channel. Cool. I like that. Big fan.
Yeah, that's David for you right there.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm an honest guy.
Now, I'm curious to see what happens overseas during the winter months with the shortage on energy. You have the UK coming in subsidizing the price of energy. Also, expectations that other European countries will do the same. UK has been out saying like, "Hey, we're going to put a price cap on your energy bill, so don't worry." But somebody has to foot the bill, which is going to be the country, the government.
They're subsidizing people's power bills.
Yeah, we see that. I mean, with the UK, they've already been buying bonds and basically printing money, and it seems like they're going to accelerate this. So, I How does that shape up for the DXY? Obviously, money printing sends certain things in certain directions. So we'll see.
I think when you look at next Tuesday, this will be the biggest day for this entire bear market, I believe, because Tuesday could go a long ways to determining what is going to happen. If they come out Tuesday and they stop raising rates, we're going to pair bottoms definitely in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
If they come up and they raise it 0.5, there is a 0.5, and announce maybe they're considering pausing the rate hikes.
Right.
It could go either way. It could be hit or miss. We could have a little dip, could go back up. Maybe a lot of this volume is people anticipating that happening. If they come out and they get 0.75, they basically have not taken a break, right? It's the same thing they've been doing as 0.75. And they don't say anything about a potential pause on the rate raises for December. Then that's when we get, in my opinion, the true capitulation. You're the people around the traditional banking world or traditional investing world, they're sitting there saying like, okay, well, now they've raised it 0.75. They haven't said, the rumors have been they were going to stop, but they didn't. They did the exact same thing. There's going to be panic. And I think that's ultimately what could send us sprawling. You could also have a huge effect on the midterm elections if this happens. One party over the other could pick up, dramatically more seats. Obviously everybody I think knows which direction this midterm election is most likely going based on the economy, as just history says. We have to pay attention on Tuesday. Well, I guess is it Fed meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. So the announcement actually comes out on Wednesday, actually. So we'll find out on Wednesday what's going on. But I do believe that's probably what's going to happen. And then December we get the pause, and that's going to be the buildup from the bottom caused in November. So
let me ask you a question, Ben. Do you think, do you think 100 points is 100 basis points off the table?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think?
I think it's going to come in at 0.75.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean that's what the CME is forecasting.
But
They've been pretty accurate.
Do you think 0.75 is priced into the markets?
No.
No?
I don't think so, because I think there's hope that something different is going to happen.
Okay.
We haven't had that hope really before. Right now we have the hope. If you watch most of the betting odds on the Fed meetings, you will find that the betting odds are always heavily on one number. And then what we've seen all year is there's a higher number that's got higher odds, but seems realistic, right? This is the first meeting, in my opinion, where people are betting like we might see a lower number than expected, not a higher number. We may see a lower number than expected. So because of that, when the expected number comes out, it's going to hit a little different because some people are thinking there's going to be a lower number. So, I think it's something to watch. Guys, look, okay, we predicted the bottom at the end of November. Why? The bottom occurs 3 to 5 weeks after the midterm elections for the last 2 cycles before. We picked a number right in the middle of that range. November 28th is the date we're targeting. The date itself, and I say this all the time, it doesn't matter how many times I say this, you still have idiots that don't comprehend it. It's just a mile marker. We're not saying it's going to happen on November 28th. Sometime around that date, based on history, is when we should see a bottom. We have something different going on during this cycle than we've had before, which is the Fed raising rates and getting to an important decision point around the time of the election. So let me tell you what I could see. What I could see happening is I could see the rates coming out next week causing a dramatic drop because they raise at 0.75, drops, and then midterm elections come in. And when the midterm elections come in, we have sweeping change going across the United States and the Senate and Congress, leaning now towards the other side. Maybe that makes people feel better. Maybe we get a bottom next week. I think it's potential. I think something to watch. And like I've been telling you guys, we need to be on bottom watch because at any given moment, we could have the thing that sends us to the bottom and then bounces back up. And a lot of people will tell you, well, everybody thinks it's going down there. So it's probably not. Well, everybody now is saying it's not going down there. So there you go. There's your evidence. I think next week is very pivotal to watch the price of Bitcoin every single day. Wednesday, Thursday next week. Watch over the weekend. Obviously, the day before the election, the day of the election, we could have some dramatic moves. I think next week is going to be very volatile, and we should definitely be paying attention to what's going on.
Speaking of volatility,
Next week is also Halloween.
It is Halloween.
We're having a Halloween special.
Yeah, that's right. You tell them drinking an orange monster.
Oh, there you go.
I like monsters. All right. Speaking of volatility, Bitcoin and Ether futures volumes in doldrums amid dwindling volatility. I've never seen that word, doldrums.
Doldrums? You don't know Into the Doldrums?
No.
It's kind of like East Bumble.
Huh.
Do you know where East Bumble is?
No.
Okay. Well, you're not from the South.
He's like, I can't help you.
I can't help you if you don't know where East Bumble is.
Yeah.
People down south know where East Bumble is. That much. Alabama is.
Kennesaw, Georgia.
Kennesaw, Georgia, one city in America where you must own a gun inside the city limits.
That is crazy,
That's a
dude.
true
I
story.
didn't believe it when I heard it. That is insane.
Well, guess where my studio is? Kennesaw, Georgia. Okay. You come up to our studio, I'll tell you what, man, we got a whole dang SWAT team in there.
He's not lying. Bitcoin and Ether futures volumes have fallen as lower volatility since capital elsewhere. Bitcoin futures volume so far this month are at 667 million, while Ether is a little over 500 million. And you can see the chart here. Binance, Bybit, OKX, FTX, and So does this signal that, and then I have one more thing highlighted. The drop in volume is primarily linked to the lack of volatility in the crypto market. Now, obviously, we know volatility brings big price movements. It could go either way. But the futures volume, does this tell you that traditional money is either afraid or they're waiting for something big to happen?
Well, I mean, I tell you, I would be very curious to see what this is like over the last 24 hours, because it certainly seems like there's a lot of moves on either side. So people have been making bets in the last 24 hours on what's going on with the futures. And, the thing about the futures as well is it is October. So that's the first month of quarter four. So I would say, as we move towards the end of quarter four, in the end of December, it'll be very interesting to see which way people start taking bets for next year when it comes to these futures contracts. Because if you think about it, you'll have the end of the month, the end of the quarter, and the end of the year, and the year of the H, the half, H2, which I think is so stupid that they have a thing called H1 and H2 for the first 6 months of the year, last 6 months of the year. But so as we head towards the end of the year, it's going to be very interesting, because I think a lot of smart people are going to be betting the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin goes up next year, but those price points should be kind of low. I still think next year average price. I'll get y'all's opinion on this. What do you think? Where are the people on my side? Can you get rid of that one person that just keeps saying stupid stuff? The idea is, what is the average price going to be of Bitcoin for 2023?
For the whole year?
For the whole year, what's the average price?
Well, I think it's going to shoot up at the end of the year. I think it'll probably trade around 30,000. And so first half of the year under 30, second half over 30. I'd say probably 32,000, I think, would be the average.
Wow. Okay, that's bold. What about you, David?
Like 25.5.
25.5.
Yeah.
My number's 25. I think average price is going to be $25,000 next year, and I think that it's one of these things. Why do you think Bitcoin will shoot up at the end of next year?
Well, the halving was lining up to come earlier, and so there was talks of it maybe landing in October, November 2023.
Halving?
Yeah.
There's no way that's happening. I'm here to tell you.
Remember
It's
that
scheduled, but it's scheduled for May, April, May.
It's scheduled for the very beginning of May. So let me tell you what generally happens with the halving. What generally happens is as you get closer to it, more people start mining, because it's the last time you're going to mine at that reward level for those blocks. So what we've seen is we see it usually move up 1 to 2 months. Since it's the beginning of May, and can you go to, I think it's bitblockhalf.com maybe?
Bitblockhalf.com?
I think. Type that into the search bar, not into the whatever.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, it is coming. It is coming a little earlier.
What do they have that estimated?
Expected in March instead.
Okay,
of
so
April.
I think March. I've been saying for a long time, I think March. However, the beginning of April is certainly still in play.
There you go, Ben.
What does it say? Does that say May?
May 1st, 2020.
So that's, like I said, it's scheduled for the very beginning of May right now. It's going to move up. Will it move up more than 30 days worth? I think there's strong potential. It's end of March, beginning of April is when we're looking at the halving. So if that's the case, that means it's going to be 2 months ahead of the last halving, which was May 11th,
Right.
2020. And so what we saw in 2019 is we saw zero movement from Bitcoin July or June, May and June, we had a large pump. A lot of people think because of the Plus token Ponzi scheme. That is what artificially pumped, where people in China were buying so much Bitcoin because of this Ponzi scheme. And then somebody eventually made off with $8 billion or $6 billion, whatever it was. And then we had a big pump in October, but it was very quick. It just spiked up to 10,000, came back down very quickly. So those are the only two major moves that we had in 2019. January 2020, we started getting movement on the Bitcoin price. But then what happened? Pandemic crash, the beginning of March. That shot Bitcoin from back up at about 10,000 all the way back down to 3,900 at the low on the day of the pandemic crash. Not a new low. Some people call it a double bottom. And so because of all that, if we were to apply the timeline of 2023 to 2019, then that means we could potentially start seeing Bitcoin start to move up in November of 2023. We don't get a pandemic crash. We don't get anything dramatic. It'll be very interesting to see if that price is able to continue moving up as it heads towards the halving. Once the halving occurs, price will go back down. It'll go sideways for about 2 or 3 months, and then you'll get the beginning of the massive move. So that would put the beginning of the moves sometime late summer. When you look at, potentially for next year, you're looking at Q4, we could see some movement upwards, but I don't think it's going to be enough movement upwards to get the average price of the year above $25,000. That's what I think. So, yeah.
That's interesting. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about the aspect of miners rushing to mine more because
of course
the thing gets cut in half. So
yeah, I mean they're trying to squeeze in the last that they can, even if they're slightly unprofitable with it. You got to think, what really is profitability in mining? Okay, profitability in mining is when you're taking the amount of hardware, the cost of your hardware, and you're taking the cost of your energy, and you're saying, okay, am I better off to take this money and just buy Bitcoin with it, or am I going to make more Bitcoin by doing the mining? And so when you think about that, there is a point where you say, okay, even though technically right now what I'm doing is not profitable, maybe you don't have the liquidity to move that money into Bitcoin. So you're willing to mine at a slight loss in profitability because you know it's about to be the bull run, right? Yeah. So you get people that might have turned them off at some point or turned some of their miners off. As you get towards the halving, they start jumping it up. And then what happens? Then you see the dramatic drop after the halving because all of a sudden everybody's like, oh crap, like now I'm way not profitable because I'm only making half as much as I was before. So definitely something to watch. The supply shock and the mining and the Bitcoin halving. Like these are the things that make the price go up. And this is why I just don't listen to arguments that it's not true. Like it's very clear when you look at the history of Bitcoin, what happens. And people say, well, why does it go up? It's because you've literally cut the production in half. Like it's insane to think about that. And what a big business that mining is. That's what caused the Bitcoin price to move. So we've had a lot of questions
block
about
rewards. Only 3.125 Bitcoin after 2024.
Yeah. Now here's, your average person doesn't understand that.
Like that's crazy. And you got to think the exchanges are reliant on the miners to
to
stockpile their Bitcoin.
It's literally as simple as supply and demand. When more people want something and the supply goes away, it gets cut in half, obviously it's going to cost more.
Why do you think I'm so valuable? There's only one of me, and so many of you want me.
Unless we split you in half, then it'll be 2 halves of you.
This is a King Solomon.
You're a lot you're a lot slimmer now. Have you been going through and having? Having your meals.
Pretty good. Pretty good. So here's this is a number I like to say because this is more of a layman's number that allows the average person to understand the effect of the halving. How many Bitcoin are being mined on average per day, David?
6.25.
No.
Per day. I don't know.
10 minutes.
One every 10. One block every 10 minutes. 60 minutes times 24. I don't know. My math is bad. A lot.
So
Robin.
600. So yeah, 600.
I'm loving watching the brains here.
Why are you putting us on
I'd
the spot,
say 1,300.
1,300. That is a great overestimation. The average number of Bitcoin being mined per day right now is 900. So
I was close.
Yeah, you were relatively close when you said nothing. When you gave me a mathematical formula that you did not give an answer to, you were close. So when you look at 900 per day is being mined, that means at the halving, that number gets cut down to 450. At the heat of the bull run, 4 companies alone, PayPal, Square, MicroStrategy, Grayscale, okay? Did I say 4 different companies?
Yeah, you did 4, yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it. My math is great too. You had 4 companies buying over 2,000 Bitcoin per day on average. And that was at 900 per day being mined. Now think at the heat of the next bull run, when only 450 per day are being mined, you really start to see the impact of the effects of supply and demand built into the code of Bitcoin, what it does. So I love being the smartest person in the room. Yeah. You don't? Oh, sorry, you can't relate. I understand. Come into my room.
Well, there is one person in the room that nobody sees. It's Rocco. And the man is a genius.
The man is literally, he's from Albert Einstein's family tree. So be careful. All right, Ben, let's
do it.
Let's move on. All right. Americans now say they will need $1.25 million to retire comfortably, a new survey found. It's a study from Northwestern Mutual. The figure represents a 20% increase from 1.05 million cited last year.
Good Lord.
So you're saying inflation is actually 20%? The average retirement nest egg has fallen 11% to $86,869, down from $98.8K a year ago. Moreover, the expected retirement age has risen to 64, up from 62.6. Do you see this as, because not a lot of people are talking about this. Are people going to have to work into their 70s? Like, what are your overall thoughts on people needing more money to retire? I mean, that's a big number.
I mean, what's the number?
To a lot of people, that's a big number.
If we jumped up from 1.05 to 1.25 in 1 year,
what's it going to be next year?
What's it going to be when I retire? I'm 38. When I'm 58, like 20 years from now, what am I going to need? $10 million to retire?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think it depends on what age you're retiring at. If you're retiring at 94, 1.25 million may get you there. If you're retiring at a normal retirement age, 1.25 million ain't going to last you hardly any time at all.
That's not, yeah.
I mean, so what do you think in 20 years from now? What do you think you're going to need to live comfortably for 25 years?
Well, it's a very interesting question because a lot of people who watch the channel know my thoughts and my beliefs on where we're going, which is the next world reserve currency becoming the federal digital dollar. That will spike demand across the world, and it should bring the DXY and the value of the dollar into a more sustainable range. So we could actually look at moving to a deflationary period or a time where inflation stalls out considerably. So I think that's the plan, because obviously at this current rate, you're going to need $98 million to retire when you're 65, So, Rocco, guys here, could you let him in, please?
Which one?
The front door.
Oh, okay.
Yep, yeah. So I have a guest coming in. Okay, well, cool. If somebody said something about, could you guys imagine if we had a Freaky Friday moment where I woke up in SPF's body and he woke up in mine?
That's
What's the first thing you would do?
Cut my hair.
Yeah, I knew it.
Obviously, I would cut my hair. Like, what if he punked me and he went bald? He wake up in my age, like, oh, you want to make fun of my haircut? And he just shaved, and I'm looking like Uncle Brian up there.
I say, now Brian is your uncle.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, Ben. We have one more traditional finance or market.
Okay.
So, U.S. mortgage interest rates jumped to 7.16%, the highest since 2001. The average interest rate on the most popular U.S. home loan rose to its highest level since 2001. The average contract rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage rose by 22 basis points to 7.16. For the week ended October 21st, while the market composite index, which is a measure of mortgage loan application volume, fell 1.7% from a week earlier.
So 7.1. Hold on. Let that sink in, man. They're pricing out anybody that wants to buy a home, man.
Well, here's what's happening too, which is concerning, right? And I don't know if you've ever gone through a new construction build or anyone on this panel, Ben, me, or Robin, but you have two things that happen. First thing, people try. You sign a contract to get your home built, right? But the problem is it takes 9 to 10 months. You can't lock in an interest rate. And so you go in, sign the contract, interest rates are at 3.5%, 4%. And then the first month goes by. It goes up by 25 basis points. And another month. And by the time you're ready to lock in interest rate, you're at 7%. And now your income, which a lot of people get the max, right? Say your max is 400,000, you'll get approved for. They will go all the way up to that max. Well, what happens when the interest rate doubles is your payment more than doubles. And so now people are priced out. All these builders that were building homes that were custom made for people who signed a contract can no longer afford them.
What I'm kind of curious about is if we get that 0.75 base rate hike on the federal funds, what is it going to look like in the home market, especially if you get those, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man?
Well, I mean, these mortgage interest rates are out of control. I mean, a lot of people say the biggest winners of this time period are going to be people that got the 2% and less interest rates on their mortgage. And we're living in a world that's very interesting because when you look at the rise in interest rates, you may say, oh my gosh, like things are absolutely unaffordable right now. Well, to an extent, but guess what also is down? The total value of people's homes.
Right.
The real estate market is the value of people's homes down. So you're kind of almost in a sense looking at sometimes the same price. It's locked up in an interest rate instead of locked up in the actual value of the home. So when you think about it that way, like people now can afford more expensive homes, but they're just getting killed by the interest rate. Which I just want to go back to this. I say it all the time. The cockiness of real estate agents over the last year has been absolutely insane. Today, real estate agents will be able to tell you the market is in big trouble. 6 months ago, when I was telling you the market was in big trouble, what were now, I'm not saying every real estate, people who watch this channel, you're very smart. Obviously, if you watch this channel, you understand, But your average person that doesn't watch this channel that was a real estate agent, what were they telling people 3 months ago? Buy, or sell your home. But you buy, you sell. I make commission on both. It's great.
I mean, but here's the thing, Ben. Like, what do you want them to say? You want them to say don't buy? Like, they're not going to make any money. So, yeah.
But
they're
that's
ethically, I mean, it comes down to ethics. Like, now you hear mortgage loan officers like, oh, there's new programs and they're pitching adjustable rate mortgages.
Yeah.
Which is what literally caused the crash in 08.
It's insane, isn't it?
So,
what you know what I want them to tell people? I want them to be honest. That's what I want. Like be
but it's going to hurt
honest.
their pockets.
That's
And
okay.
not- but-
you know what is great for my pockets? You want to know what's great for my pockets? To me, tell you that things are bullish and we're going to all-time highs this year. Over and over and over again. And there's people out there on YouTube
But not
that have done
everyone-
that all year.
But not everyone's like you.
Yeah.
You
People
gotta
are
understand
unethical
that.
and they're immoral and they're stupid.
That's what
so
I'm
yeah,
saying.
that's what I want. I want people to be moral and I want you to make good decisions because in the end, short-term gains for your pockets will always hurt you. You have to think long-term. When you're a real estate agent and you are telling people it's a great time to sell their house, a great time to buy their house, when the entire market is about to crash, what that means is they're going to remember that. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to come give you a review on Yelp or wherever the real estate people get reviews at, and your name is going to get dragged through the mud. Is that worth it for you to make commission on one deal? No, it's not. Ultimately, it's going to hurt you down the road. And so that's what I want. I want people to be honest. And I don't want people to lead. I don't want to see people get led to the slaughter. I don't like that. So, short-term gains, short-term money, always turn it down over long-term. You're going to be much better off. And you're also going to be able to sleep at night because you're going to have a good conscience.
100%. But a lot of these people, they get into real estate because they have a friend or family like, oh, I want to buy a house. And, oh, you could have helped me make this much money. They go get their real estate license and don't understand that it's actually a business. You have to build a book of business. So I don't think in the long term, they don't. Yeah. I'm sure they don't even see themselves in the industry long term.
But SBF is the real estate agent of crypto. That's what somebody said in the comments. That's
Rocco, let's get the
nice.
Great time to buy.
All right, let's move on.
All right, let's move on. 32-year high inflation sees Australians flocking to Bitcoin. Australians have invested much more in Bitcoin this year compared to last year. And the government is also working on broad crypto regulations and a pilot for its CBDC. Last quarter, the CPI increased by 1.8% in Australia. That makes the annual rate of inflation 7.3%, which is the highest since 1990.
Well, I want to say, what was going on in the 90s in Australia, a lot of people don't talk about? The Crocodile Dundee movies. That was probably the height of Australian popularity in the
Peak
world.
of the market.
That was
Good night, mate.
Steve Irwin, what a guy, huh?
Oh, Steve. Steve Irwin.
Steve
Can we have a
Steve
moment of
Irwin
silence for
in
Steve Irwin? That was not the 90s. That was
Yeah.
like 2004, I think.
No,
somewhere
but
around
when
there.
you talked in that accent, the first person that popped in mind was that man. He was a good man.
He's a good man. Rest in peace, Steve Irwin. Has anyone ever said a bad word about Steve Irwin?
No.
I don't think
I don't
they have.
I don't
Dude,
think
man.
so,
I
man.
don't think they have.
I don't think anyone said a bad word about you either.
Hey. That's right. That's right. Okay, so look, a lot of people don't know this, but Australia is led. Their SEC basically is called AUSTRAC, AUSTRAC. And I will tell you, going back 2018, 2019, they were extremely hard on anything trying to be developed in blockchain. I don't know what they're doing today, but AUSTRAC has a gigantic problem with crypto and has. So it'll be really interesting to see like what is allowed and what's not allowed in the world of crypto. Obviously, with Bitcoin, they're going to make some concessions, but there were a lot of blockchain projects that were being developed in Australia in 2018, and AUSTRAC shut them down. So
there are a couple ETFs in Australia for the Bitcoin spot market. So
yeah, you know what else is there? Kangaroos. A lot of kangaroos.
You ever
Koala bears.
You ever those didgeridoos? You know what those are?
Didgeridoo? That sounds familiar.
That's the you ever hear like when you hear like the Outback commercials? It's like
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
didgeridoo. Yeah. So it's like this.
Wow, Robin.
It's like a tree trunk that you blow air into.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you know what else?
very
E10.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You do.
We already
It's
got
an
it.
Almond convention.
Look
It's
at
an
this,
Almond
look at
convention.
this.
It's an Almond convention. Chill, okay? We'll skip by that.
Let's skip it. All right, let's skip it.
Sometimes I allow myself to get got, and this was one of those moments.
Fair enough. Well, he posted it on
He got
Y'all
you.
think
He
when
got you.
y'all think when Greg on Twitter sends me a DM, I'm sitting there like, oh, he must really want to talk. Guys, can y'all be for real about that? I turned it into a funny thing, but Greg on Twitter, he thinks he got me, but Greg, I got you, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, and guess what? It's great for me. When people think that one of the people that makes fun of me gets me, is great for me. It's good. No,
That probably made his. But here's the thing, man.
It did.
It made his whole week. Like,
I'm the week maker. I make your week. All I got to do is just play along with your little joke. It's amazing.
Yeah, just be happy for the guy.
you-
All right.
Okay,
Speaking
move
of
on.
being happy, let's move
He
on.
felt very accomplished.
Treasury yields fall as traders absorb key housing data. Treasury yields fell again on Wednesday as markets absorbed housing sector data and paid close attention to earnings reports, scanning the numbers for hints about a looming recession. The 10-year
Looming recession?
Seriously, we're in a recession.
Where is it looming? Where's the recession at? I don't see it.
Yeah, it's about to hit you right in the nose.
It's all around us, guys.
The 10-year Treasury yield was last down by close to 8 basis points, down to 4.03%. And the 2-year, which is what a lot of economists look at, was last at 4.427, having declined by about 4 basis points. Now, here's what was interesting, and Forrest talked about this on our channel. When you see interest rates go up and the dollar gets stronger, people want to move their money into Treasury securities. But that should mean the interest rate goes down. But we saw the opposite happening. Interest rates were going up. And then you have Janet Yellen come out and say, we are concerned with liquidity in the Treasury securities market. No one was buying them.
Yeah.
Like they had to issue them at auction at higher interest rates. And so what does that do to the bond market? It puts it into a complete, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Tailspin.
Tailspin. Because now the older ones that are being traded, they're not worth anything because I can just go buy one now for a higher interest rate.
Yeah.
So
It's creating an upside down kind of inverse market there.
Yeah.
It's bizarre what's going on with the bond market. And I tell people a lot, guys, the bond market drives the entire world economy. The bond market drives the entire world economy. When it starts getting out of whack, things are done on the back end to make them get back in line. And so I think that's kind of what we're seeing is, just like we've seen with a lot of these events, the pendulum starts swinging, but you can't see it until it's almost hit you in the face. And I think what we're seeing right now in the bond market is we are seeing a pendulum swing, because right now you're right, it doesn't make any sense for people to do that, but that's going to run out at some point, and it is going to get back more in line. Do we have crypto stories that are not bond market stories? How many stories do we have left today?
We have.
I want to talk about that.
You want to talk about this? All right, let's talk about it.
Elizabeth Warren, she is my favorite beer drinker.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Alexandria.
I'm sorry, I love AOC. I'm sorry, I love her. I don't agree with her on anything except for this.
Okay.
But I think AOC is... she's very fun to watch. She's very entertaining. She's probably the most entertaining politician. Don't you guys think so? Do you guys remember when she did the fake handcuffs? The fake handcuffs. I mean, the genius of pretending to have handcuffs on. You can't really knock her on that. So I know a lot of you guys hate her.
I didn't see that.
Oh
Fake
yeah,
handcuffs?
she went to a rally, like a what do you call it? Not a rally, a protest. She went to a protest and she pretended to get arrested.
Yes.
And she had a cop drag her by the arm and she just held her hands behind her back like she was under arrest. I'm sorry, she's the most entertaining person in politics. And so it's amazing that AOC Elizabeth Warren, which I call the banking broad, and I agree on something. I never thought this would happen in my entire life. They are wondering why. We covered the story a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
Why are regulators moving to become insiders in the crypto industry? So let's go ahead and check out the highlights here.
Yeah, it says several progressive lawmakers want to know if and how financial regulators will cut down on their staff leaving to join crypto industry firms. And these are direct quotes. We write seeking information about the steps your agency has taken to stop the revolving door between our financial regulatory agencies and the crypto industry. The inquiries were organized by Senator Elizabeth Warren and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, both Democrats. The crypto sector has rapidly escalated its lobbying efforts in recent months, spending millions in an attempt to secure favorable regulatory outcomes as Congress and federal agencies work to craft and enforce rules to regulate this multi-trillion-dollar industry. I mean, can they stop people from, like, after you're done serving, can they stop you from working for a crypto company?
Well, let's get one thing straight. As I'm putting my liquid IV into my Propel. I wanted to show you guys this. Guys, this is called a liquid IV. You guys have seen these? So if you guys want to know a super secret hydration trick,
Okay.
Super secret?
Take a Propel, any Propel, and then take any liquid IV, and then pour it in here, and you now have quadruple hydration.
Wow.
That's amazing. Quadruple hydration.
Wow.
Now here's the key. You gotta shake your Propel like it's a shake weight.
The shake weight.
So it's a way you can actually get in shape while you're hydrating.
You remember when that thing first came out?
The shake weight? Do I remember? I had it on pre-order.
I thought it was a joke.
I keep doing my hand at all
It's
times.
like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
This changes the flavor, by the way. You can create some unique flavors by mixing your Propels and liquid IVs.
Okay.
Is it sponsored? No, guys. I would literally kill for Propel or liquid IV to sponsor me. So look, here's the thing. When it comes to this revolving door, here's a great question, David and Robin. Why do you think this question is being asked right now?
Because their whole house, the house of cards is coming down. It's going to come down. The crypto industry is going to have an edge. I mean, if you have insight, just like, you see it in football. I don't know if we talked about this with you, Ben.
I love football.
Right. Did we talk about the Falcons or Saints picked someone up from another team in the division and then cut him before the thing started?
You see it all the time.
And why do they do that? Because they want insider info. Same thing here.
I mean, but but here's the thing. But why are you going to apply that to crypto? I mean, we see it in the pharmaceuticals and energy. I mean, some of the biggest people for the FDA reformer executives.
But those aren't in a gray area.
That's the way that Congress and the U.S. government
But
system
they're not
works.
in a regulatory gray area. That's the issue here. What's going to happen over the next 6 to 18 months is going to literally shape how this market is going to run.
I agree. There should be no place for a policymaker and CEOs and people that are at high positions in the same industry that they just left that they were regulating. I don't think they should be intermingled. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's just the way Congress works. You see it in every big industry, in Congress. The FDA is a good one. Some of the people that used to work for like the Tyson, the chicken companies and
doubling FDA people in the company.
Yeah,
what's that?
Doubling people from
that's what I mean. And so if it happens in those industries, I just find it hard to believe that they would.
Well,
they would drop regulation,
common,
and then if you say, well, it's financial, well, then hey, you know what? You got all these different people that are holding political offices that are holding stocks and making policy decisions that ultimately affect their portfolios.
You know what?
Or their husbands' portfolios.
I got something better, man. You know what I would worry about? We are having military generals leaving once they retire. They go work for another country. They work for another that's what I'd be focused on. Yeah, you're talking people with the highest level of classification clearance.
That's like our Atlanta United coach leaving and going and coaching Mexico. I didn't like that. And guess what? The fans of Mexico, they hate him over there already. Come back to Atlanta United. We won a championship. Guys, a lot of people in the chat, I've seen a few comments I want to address. Number one, people are saying I'm pronouncing this wrong. They're saying I'm saying liquid IV, and I think what they're saying is it's actually liquid 4. It's actually liquid 4.
Or liquid IV.
Well, that's 4.
No, right? Liquid IV in your arm, like IV.
No. Oh, are y'all seriously acting like I don't know what it is?
That's what people might think. I don't know.
Y'all seriously are acting. Guys, can y'all go along with a stupid joke for one show? For one show, can you go along with a joke? I set this up. I brought this just to say, look what if. And you guys have ruined it for me.
Not guys.
they're
I'm very
pointing at each
aware.
other, I tell you what. Guys, we have some people in here also saying, can we get Sin City Crypto over 5,000 subscribers today? Look, make sure if you're from BitBoy Crypto, make sure you guys go over and follow Sin City Crypto. These are like my favorite people in crypto. Like, I love these guys. We were having such a good time. Somebody even said I should leave and just come here, and we do the show here all the time.
I think it's very interesting that on live we noticed David had an epiphany on what IV stood for.
I think that's amazing.
He just found out. Like,
wow.
He's like, guys, I got this. You know the one they put in your arm?
Yeah, that's it, guys. I know. Okay, so let's look. I want to make this comment. Talking about the same thing here. There's David. There's the teacher.
I'm sitting right next to you. You know that. I'm within arm's length here. You understand that, right?
I wish I was in the middle between those two, and then it would look like they're trying to. Okay, so the point here is that when it comes to this revolving door in crypto, the reason why they're asking these questions right now is because of the mass exodus of employees that have left the SEC since Gary Gensler has taken over, and you can tell. Okay, there's some really interesting stuff in that letter. And I can't remember exactly. Let's see. It was John Deaton who I think pointed this out, or maybe it was Ellie Tourette. I can't remember. But they were saying that basically Elizabeth Warren in his letter was asking questions about William Hinman and the SEC. Very interesting. What have I told you guys? The Senate is embarrassed by the SEC right now. They're embarrassed by the SEC because of the questions they're having to answer due to the conspiratorial nature of what has occurred leading up to Ethereum being declared not a security. It's a scandal, and everyone sees it and everyone knows it. And people behind closed doors are asking questions, even if they're not asking these questions in front of people. But now we have Elizabeth Warren coming out and actually asking questions about William Hinman and XRP. And she also said, this shows you how clueless these senators are. I'm glad. I hate Elizabeth Warren. I hate AOC. I know I said I loved her earlier, but I was kidding. Okay. I don't like their politics at all. I do think AOC is a little interesting. Okay. I think she might be president one day because of her social media presence. A lot of people say that's not true, but we see how much that affects things. But the fact is, I don't agree with them on almost anything. Okay. I back them 100% on this. Thank God they're asking these questions. These are questions that we've begged on the channel before, and we finally got some people that are asking them. But this is how clueless these people are about crypto. You know who they said is the #1 competitor to XRP? Coinbase.
Really?
Coinbase. Coinbase is a gigantic competitor to XRP. Who allowed this letter to go out in that form with that statement in there?
What's worse, the person that allowed the letter or the person that wrote loose on the article?
That's a good question, because I'm going with the grammatical error. I that's a hard one for me to overcome. It's loose versus lose.
Well, then you can't be friends with Robin.
You're still mad about that?
About what? Your grammatical error? Anyways.
James Fallon, that's probably not true. Maybe we'll see. All right, so we got any other stories? Are we done?
We have there's one more important one I feel like we should cover before we sign off. I know you got to get to the airport.
Yeah, okay, go.
Compound suspends 4 tokens with low liquidity as lending assets. So if you're not familiar with Compound, they're kind of like Aave, DeFi protocol on Ethereum. Decentralized lending protocol. Compound is pausing the use of 4 tokens as lending collateral on the platform. This means that the protocol will not allow users to deposit these assets and take loans in order to protect the protocol from market manipulation attacks. The tokens are 0x, BAT, Maker, and Yearn Finance.
Yeah.
The members passed the proposal with 99.99% of the votes in favor. Is this a smart move by Compound? Should we see more of these CeFi or DeFi, platforms do this?
I think the important thing to note here, the important thing to watch, is the fact that these 4 coins have extremely low liquidity. I'm not looking at Maker, or I'm not looking at Compound, excuse me, as much as I'm looking at these other coins. And I'm saying Basic Attention Token, ZRX, YFI, what was the 4th one?
BAT, Basic Attention.
No, I said that one.
0x, BAT, YFI,
Well, we've seen a lot of
MakerDAO.
It was Maker. That's why Maker was on the brink.
We've seen a lot of issues arise with DEXs and C5 platforms when it comes to projects with low liquidity, easily manipulated, and especially when it comes to DEXs. So I don't know, man. I think people are just trying to play it safe. You're in the middle of a bear market. There's less meme coins to scam, so you have a lot of people trying to take advantage of the system. And when you have low liquidity, it brings up takes down safeguards.
Yeah.
And so
when you look at Maker is a competitor of Compound. Yep. So think about that. Yeah. Because when you look at those 4 coins, one of those coins is not like the others. And that is Maker. Maker does have pretty good volume across the board. Maker's still right in the public eye. It's made some big moves over the last couple months, and trying to re-solidify itself as a top DeFi project. But what I would say is when you look at Basic Attention Token, you look at ZRX, and you look at YFI, you're looking at projects that are on their way out. I mean, you're looking at projects that probably aren't going to make it. Basic Attention Token is always underperformed. Great use case, Brave browser. People aren't really talking about Brave browser anymore. It used to be a big topic in crypto. It used to have the most users of any crypto platform or any crypto project, you could say, had the most users. But now that you're looking at YFI, a lot of people have been asking me about YFI because it's got a very low supply and a very high price because it's got a low supply. I've been telling people, I think it's dead. I don't think YFI is moving forward. I think there's just more evidence of that. So, look, I think looking at low liquidity, I think that's what I would be more concerned about right now for a lot of these projects. We're coming to a time in crypto where some of these altcoins are just not going to make it. Some of the ones that have been around are not going to make it. And other ones will rise up and take their place. So, guys, that's all we got for the show. But I do want to tell you guys, make sure to head on over to Twitch after the show here. We do have an exclusive show over there, the BitBoy Crypto Basement, I think we're calling it over there, or something like that. It's basically the after show. TJ and a lot of guys who work for us, AJ and Drew and all these people that are over there. There's like many more people I could have mentioned. You guys can make sure to go check them out on the Twitch after show. So Twitch, a big part of what we do, we love our Twitch community. We call it the basement over there. It's where a lot of our longest term BitSquad members move over to. So that's all we got for today. Any final thoughts? This is the last time we're going to be together for a hot minute.
It honestly, you say this all the time. You're one of the most misunderstood people. I truly believe that. You are genuinely a good dude. And we've just had a blast hanging out with you, Ben. So we appreciate you. Everything you do for not just yourself, your people, the creators, but just the space of crypto in general. So we love you, my friend. We hope you have a safe flight back. And anytime you're in Vegas, please, our door.
I'm just surprised that you don't live here and you find all the cool spots, man. You found the secret pizza spot. Bro. We went to the lobster place, which home run.
Fire.
So I mean, you're on your game, and no matter where you go, man.
Also, if you're a HBAR fan, Hedera Hashgraph, we have the one of the founders on our show in about an hour. So make sure to come hop over there. Our live starts at 10:30. So.
Awesome, guys. Well, I've really enjoyed your hospitality. Obviously, having me here, enjoyed it. We will be doing this again. Anytime I'm in Vegas, we are going to be doing the show from here. So super exciting.
Awesome.
Had a lot of great synergy. You guys, make sure to subscribe. Sin City Crypto. We love these guys. And that's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out. Oh, goddamn. Gotta keep dancing. Yeah. I'm wearing my Yeezys today in support of Yeezy.
Are you really?
Yeah, of course, dude. What do you mean? Of course I wear my
Did you hear? Mike's alive, by the way. Did you hear?
Mike's alive. I rock Yeezys.
Did you hear Adidas drop Kanye?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm wearing them today. Support a yay.
Damn, dude.
They ask me yay or nay. I say yay. No question.
And on that note,
mute the mics before we say something stupid.